Keep It Up with the Nerds. Podcasting, skits, news breaking. All of these things make up the brand. So, as project manager, I take it solely upon myself to bring out good quality content for everyone here. And, I can't take all the credit, I got my buddies, Nick and Rene, who helped me out over here and, pretty much get here on time and bring their best minds forward to help produce some of the content that you see here on this channel. Grade A quality.
As social media manager, I get told of what the big announcements are coming out, and we have a lot of stuff planned for you. But it also can be stressful once in a while, getting ready, getting the post ready, trying to get all of our schedules inflicted. So once in a while, I do need a little bit of help once in a while. Just enough to get me going, So, yeah, but other than that, we, treat each other as family here.
Get back to work! God! Here at Keeping Up with the Nerds, it takes a lot to make sure to keep everybody in line. Sometimes you have to put levity in. Sometimes you have to make fun of people. Sometimes you have to abuse them.
We try to hold respect and not
Loser!
push each other either.
We see ourselves as a family here Keeping Up with the Nerds. If it wasn't for everyone else supporting one another, I don't think we'd be able to do much of what we do here. 2.5 years worth of content, of work, dedication, devotion, whatever you want to call it.
Sometimes, you just have to poke the bear just a little bit. Just poke the bear, poke the bear, poke the bear. And then eventually, the bear will make it funny. Watch.
Ow! Want to go?
Right here.
Want to go? Come on.
Yep.
God dang it, Nick! I will have to literally walk out of here, all right? And talk to you, to your face, tell you to shut goddamn mouth.
Shirts off, man. Let's go. You know what that means. Come on.
Oh,
Pants
I'm
next.
ready. Yeah.
Pants next. Let's go. Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California, at Undercity Comics, Keeping Up with the Nerd, issue 117. My name is Nick Valero.
This is Bryan.
And it's Rene.
And welcome to the show.
Woo! Hey.
Did I get it right?
You got it right.
I did get it right.
Everyone, round of applause, standing ovation. Doesn't matter where you're at. You're driving on the freeway. You're, in your office by yourself. You're just waking up. Nick did it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Valero getting the issue right.
It's not like it's that abnormal. Come on, guys.
What do you mean it's not that abnormal? It's like every time you do the intro, we get it, Rene.
Skull clap.
Every time we do the issue number, it's like 110.
1-3. Did you guys never help me? That's why.
Because you're supposed
Where's
to
the
know.
sign? Where's my sign?
Where's my cue card?
Yeah,
Where's
where are
my cue?
cards?
Yeah.
That's when we get interns.
gosh.
In all fairness, that is not a conversation we have before we start.
That is true.
Of the number,
Well-
it is never a conversation.
Welcome back, Nick.
Hey,
how are you
what's up?
feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling
Good.
back to fighting shape. Not fighting weight, but definitely fighting shape.
Anyway,
Yeah.
did you lose weight? Or?
I actually did. I lost
Yeah?
15 pounds.
Hey.
Apparently, when you're on an all liquid diet and your internal organs are exploding, that happens. That's what.
Same thing happened to me when I got COVID. Like, I didn't eat for like a good 4 days, and I went to go visit Mandy the next, like, after I got better, and she looks at me, she goes, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "You look like you're thinner. And I'm like, oh, COVID. Like, you know?
That's what happened.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the secret.
I lost some solid COVID weight. You know? No, I was I was in the hospital. I got better. What was it? I was on pure liquids. Bryan went to go visit me.
You're
'cause
in
I was at his
clears,
work.
fulls, and
Explain to the
soups.
listeners, because we didn't tell them what happened.
No, we
you
kept
know?
it private.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't. I told you guys you could tell them. So, so I left. I was gonna go to a wedding in Philly. I was gonna go to Philadelphia, go to a wedding.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. I was hoping to get into a little trouble while playing some b-ball after school. No, but I was gonna go to Philly for a buddy's.
You want to keep going,
wedding.
huh? You want
It's addicting, huh? Like once you start, you kind of have to continue. But yeah, no, I went and as I was packing, my large intestine just expanded, and I was in so much pain. I thought my appendix burst.
Now, did you you were just putting stuff away? You went, ah!
Kind of. That is literally how I got out of my desk chair because I was trying to check in for the flight because the flight was the following day. So I was checking in for the flight and I was talking with everybody of what time do we pick everybody up? What time? We were trying to figure out carpool and everything else. And then as soon as we all settled it, we were like, cool. All right, let's get some sleep. Wake up in the morning. I'll go get my hair cut. I'll go do everything else I got to go do. And then
He died.
yeah, no. And then and that was at 11:45. 15 minutes later, I was keeled over in my bed, holding my side. I thought my appendix had burst. And then I went over. I told my brother, and then my brother was like, "Wait, what happened?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think my appendix burst. I need to go. Can you drive me to the hospital?" And my brother he's the sweetest. He's the sweetest guy. Sweet. He's terrible in a situation of those.
Oh, what? In a stressful
situation.
Let's take you in, buddy.
No. It's not even that. It was more of I was holding my side because any motion hurt and everything else. This man is driving like a bat out of hell, and he's just taking these sharp turns and he's just slamming me into the door, and I'm just I'm hurt back here. Stop. And then he's trying to plan all this out, and he's like, "Oh, all right, cool. Well, my boyfriend's gonna take dad back because my dad and his boyfriend came to the waiting room, and you can only have one person in the ER with you. You can't have that many people. So then his boyfriend took my dad back, and then my brother's like, yeah, once we get out of here, then I'll drive us back home and everything like that. And I'm hurt, and I look up at him, and I'm like, with what car? And he goes, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you sent the car home and you told the two people that were driving it to go to sleep.
Yeah.
How are we going to get home?
You're stuck.
He's like, oh no.
At the end of the day, it didn't matter. You ended up staying at the hospital for 3 days.
I ended up getting, I ended up having to go to the hospital. I ended up, being admitted, and then I was in the hospital for 3 days. You were there.
I went to visit, but the thing was, we didn't even realize until, because I think it was the day after we recorded issue 115.
I was supposed to be on a flight.
Yeah, you
You
were.
guys just all kind of assumed I was on a flight.
So we were like, oh yeah, Nick's gone, and then he's like, yeah, I'm in the hospital. He's dead. Oh my god. But you got better after 3 days, but we didn't put you in issue 116. It was your choice, basically, because you were still in pain.
You were still recuperating.
I was ready to come and everything else, and I was like, I'm 100%. I can do this. The more and more I walked around my house, the more winded I felt because the pain was starting to kick in. I hadn't 100%. I was maybe at 65. Dang. And I was thinking I could do this. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't. I'm in not excruciating pain, but I'm uncomfortable. Well, I can't sit.
It's good to have you back.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back.
So
healthy.
So are you ready to get into nerd news and all this other stuff?
Yeah.
Because it's a packed issue this week.
Real quick, just notes to the editor for corrections.
Me.
Yes. So for Andor, you guys were talking about it last week, and there was a minor argument of who these people were.
We didn't know.
we didn't know right away.
They mentioned it in episode 2 that they were private security, and it was a private security firm that was hired by the Empire to watch over this sector because the Empire didn't have any control over here. This private security firm was already here.
Well, like
so
Andy said, they look like Star Tours people.
And they do look like Star Tours people. The other thing also is the reason why it turns into a cluster is because it's kind of like if you were to give a bunch of Rene-cops guns and then go break that fight up. and then he just starts shooting.
But we praised that because it was actually a
Yeah.
good sequence of events of
It
them
was.
just not having any form of control.
Yeah.
So no Andor talk
Right,
this
right.
week because I mean it's only one episode at this point, and I think it's the same theme throughout the whole thing.
It was a slower episode.
It was a slower episode, so I think that we could probably hold off on it and discuss it in full closer to the end.
Did you like a Starkiller? Did you like the Starkiller armor?
I haven't seen this new episode.
Starkiller's armor.
So we will see. We will see when it pops up when I get to watch it. But it is a packed issue. So we got comic strips back again this week. We got She-Hulk Watch, and
right.
we're throwing out the DC news for Marvel news this time around. It's coming back, ladies and gentlemen. Marvel.
It's like a
back in the
swinging
news.
pendulum. It's just a pendulum of terror.
Here's the thing. Marvel tried to come out this week with like good news, and it kind of did. But then it was also like, yeah, but we've got some kind of like weird,
Someone's
awkward
like,
news.
no, there's some other stuff
Yeah.
brewing.
As always, guys, go follow us on our social medias. Just a reminder, we have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Keeping Up With The Nerds. Also, our website at keepingupwiththenerds.com. Find us on YouTube if you guys are listening to us on our audio platforms on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Podbean. Go look us up on YouTube, Keeping Up With The Nerds. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to that channel. We're at 128. We're getting there. We're getting to 150.
Definitely.
Hopefully by the end of the year. That's the goal that I want because I want to get monetized soon. We need 1,000 subs and we need 4,000 watch hours.
Yes.
We can do it.
We could do
We're
that.
good. We're good on that. So thank you guys for those who have supported so far. Thank you guys for spreading the word. And if you guys like what you saw here, please share this podcast with anyone else that you think would enjoy this because that's how we get our publicity. You know, we can only spread so much. And if you guys like this and like what you guys heard here, share it with other people. Let them know. With that said, are we ready for comic strips?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Nick, you've got the first one because you were so adamant about adding in this and
I
I could
was-
just care less because it's not nerd news,
I
but
think
brand
it is.
news.
I think it is. It's branding news, and I thought it was interesting. The controversy that's going on right now with the Try Guys.
Okay.
So far, what has happened is that one of the members of the Try Guys, Ned, he went off and had an extramarital affair outside of his marriage, and with a coworker, with one of the foodie babes.
Yeah.
Foodie babies.
Am I wrong in saying that she was also the best friend of Ned's wife or something like that, or they were like close friends?
They were close friends.
Yeah,
They
they
were-
all knew each
because
other.
because they were all the Try Guys were more or less working really close with each other and everything else. So he was dating her. So he was dating her, and the way that more or less it started coming out is because he's an idiot. And
He's an idiot. That's exactly what you want to clip on there. He's like, you got caught. Sucks,
You got
yeah?
caught.
no,
Yeah.
no. Hold on, check this out. If you're cheating and you're a well-known person, do you go to a club and make out with this person in plain view of everybody on the dance floor?
But there's a difference because these
And
people
then-
are famous, but they're YouTube famous. So like you kind of get that little bit of like, oh well, I can't get caught for doing things. That's besides the point.
when you have a subscriber count of at least more than 8 million people,
You
you're
would-
gonna get noticed.
You'd be surprised because there's people that have like 10 million subs and people don't know who they are. Like Markiplier still kind of faces that kind of like, you know, you can walk down the street and not know. People won't know who he is sometimes.
Because I'm afraid of him.
Okay.
Yeah, you seen how swollen he is?
Dude,
I know,
he's
he's
but he's
swole,
short.
dude.
He's short.
Dude,
no,
he's
but
a-
he's wide.
dude,
Like,
that man is the definition of a short king.
yeah.
He's the definition of a
He has
short
that
king.
zaddy energy too.
He's got some zaddy energy, man.
All right, so I'll tell you why I just didn't care for this piece of news.
Okay.
I found out about this during the entire Twitch drama scenario that was going on. And the reason as to why is because the one thing I hate the most, unfortunately, it's the reality of life. Sometimes these people do very stupid things, and they're people that you enjoy, people that you like look up to, whatever it could be, right? But what sucks, for me at least, is when these brands or these people who are content creators do these very stupid acts, right? That they know better, that they should know better, and that becomes the new thing for weeks or months on end. Like for me, I enjoy a content creator by the name of Ludwig. Right, he's a streamer on YouTube. He's not super creative in terms of the stuff that he puts on there in terms of his videos. He just does TikTok reacts and Reddit reviews and stuff like that. But
We all have garbage YouTube. We
yeah,
love.
he's not garbage, but you know, he's simpleton.
He's
a simpleton. He's a smart simpleton.
Okay, there you go.
Point being, I don't like hearing about that kind of drama when it feels like that's what it's being built on. And in this sense, the Try Guys disassociating themselves from Ned is a smart move. Do you want to have a person who is, you know, in infidelity be a representative of the brand who is supposed to be family wholesome.
But the thing is that not only are they family wholesome, but it happens to be the one person in the Try Guys where his identity in the Try Guys was my wife.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
I'm in love
that's
with
the
my
thing.
wife. I'm the family man.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole idea of the Try Guys is you have the nerdy guy, you have, you have the like more flamboyant guy, you have the married guy, and then you have like the more like conservative.
So
And you would get these different interpretations of the same experience from them, and then they would all try it out, and then they would give their own opinions of it. That was the whole premise of Try Guys.
And we're seeing it from that perspective. We're seeing it from the brand perspective of them doing essentially, because we can agree, right, that them disassociating themselves from Ned is kind of the best move that they have to.
Yeah.
Because you're basically ruining brands at that point, and you do not want to be associated with that. Unfortunately, every action has some sort of consequence, and right now, the Try Guys kind of have this negative counter reaction to doing something quote unquote good by basically being called out and saying, well, you know, if a woman were the one to be doing this, would you guys have the same reaction? And so it's kind of like on a based off assumption.
What do you mean by?
So basically, they're basically saying that because a man caused the infidelity, right? He was the one that was unloyal, right?
She's also engaged.
That's why.
Yeah, she's.
You see what I mean? But it's all about Ned because he's the bigger picture. He's the bigger picture.
But he's the name.
He's the name.
He's not only that, but also he is the higher up.
Yeah. So my point is
that's within. It's not. I'm not saying it's Weinstein kind of stuff. No. But I'm saying it's that very unprofessionalism of I'm your boss and you're an employee.
Yeah.
And I had a relationship with you.
Yeah.
It's different. It is different, especially in like the workplace or anything like that. But it is completely different when it's two people who are equal compared to somebody who has authority over you and you're having an affair with them.
Yeah.
That makes it extra icky.
Yeah.
And it puts you in a weird situation where
That's the thing, and we don't know the situation, who engaged
don't.
to. Maybe he pushed her into doing it because he has authority.
Or she was the one that approached him, whatever.
Apparently, it was a consensual relationship between the two of them. That's not the case, but the case was that, you know, apparently the boyfriend found out about it, the fiance, and then he actually even told Ned to stay away from his girlfriend.
Did you see what her fiance looks like? Dude,
they look identical. He could have been a stuntman for Ned. Like, honestly, she has a type.
That's the thing.
She definitely has a type.
He's a little bit like thicker, like as of like muscle. He has more muscles, and Ned is like kind of like a little scrawny guy.
Yeah.
But she definitely has a type of guy that she likes.
So to move on from this, because we got plenty of other bits from comic strips, what is the lesson learned from here?
Just don't
be stupid.
Wife.
Don't be stupid.
I mean, the thing was that I get it, but if you wanted to have this affair, I understand that it would have been. It's a little extra and everything else, and that would have probably been a little bit more hurtful. But if he would have just been honest and probably divorced his wife first, and everything else. But the problem is that she's been married to him before he was a member of the Try Guys. They got married way before.
Yeah.
So
when they were like on BuzzFeed, right?
When they were still on BuzzFeed, he was already married. So most likely he does not have a prenup. Not only that, but also he's built an entire company.
It's interesting
called
because
the Try Guys.
Yeah.
With her, and he also has a majority stake in the Try Guys because he put up the first money in, first money out.
Yeah,
and he put up his house, so he also has more equity than everybody else does inside of the Try Guys. So, if she ends up leaving, she takes half. Because California is a no-fault state. Didn't matter if he was, doing whatever. She gets half.
She was there supporting him all the way.
Yeah. Not only that, but also if at any point he took money out of a joint account
to put
it shows that she has ownership of the actual Try Guys. Dang. That's how law works.
This is bigger than it seems, because I mean they released a statement individually basically saying that they're going to work on their marriage for their kids and stuff like that, but it's like
that's right, I forgot they had kids.
Ariel did say like we're going to work on our marriage and everything,
but those are statements to basically play out.
Honestly, I do feel that maybe there's more to it. Hopefully, I would hate for anybody to kind of like, ruin their marriage or anything like that, even though you're the one that did it.
Right.
But
it kind of goes like what we were talking about earlier, because we're discussing if we should have included this or not. The one, because we were talking about like Adam Levine is also was also like not caught. He was like
he was
exploited is not the right word.
No, not he was.
We found out. We found out about
there
his
were
own,
allegations.
No, they're not allegations. There's text messages. Like, it's proven that he actually cheated. But I was talking to you about this, and I'm like, what sucks is that we grew up with Maroon 5, right? And like middle school, high school, and everything. And like the guy's like a love song, you know. He's a love song guru. So like for me, "She Will Be Loved" is one of my favorite ones. And now it's like, oh, dude,
is that what you're walking down the aisle with?
No, no,
not anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
No.
Yeah, it's been scrapped out of the playlist.
All right, so moving on to other news,
Yeah.
more nerdy news that isn't brand oriented and crap.
It's a story, man.
It is a story.
Yeah, we got
thank
that
you.
in our
Thank
tag.
you. Yeah,
in our
thank
video.
you.
Try
You
guys.
got Nick has his tag,
You're
right?
welcome.
Community finally gets a movie, which was ordered by Peacock, and it was revealed to the world by Joel McHale, who tweeted out, and a movie, tagging a bunch of former Community stars. The only one that we're not so sure of coming back, of course, Chevy Chase out. His character died. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's a show that's been out for years.
That and also very hard to work with.
Yeah, so Chevy Chase is out.
I'm also wondering if Dan Harmon's coming back.
He's the one that's writing it, apparently.
Oh,
yeah,
that'd be
he's
kinda
the
cool.
showrunner for it. So Donald Glover is one of the other ones that's kind of like iffy because
I feel confident that he would come back.
he is a very passionate man.
Yeah.
And I do think that if it's right, he will come back.
If the script is right.
Yes.
The script's right, yeah.
And
the
Dan
last two-
Harmon is the one that's writing, or Dan Harmon's a showrunner.
After
So
Dan Harmon leaves Community is when Community starts to not be as good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can definitely see a drop in
They
in
start
quality.
like going off of the gags. They start relying on the ongoing gags too much
Yes.
on certain episodes.
and they don't make
stuff.
new gags.
Can we have the paintball scenario happen again in this movie? I would
Oh,
like that.
like the whole thing's a paintball match. That'd
Yeah,
be fun.
that'd be
be great. I would love
That
it.
would be pretty great.
All right, other bits of news. Trevor Noah, who is the host of The Daily Show, has announced he is leaving after 7 years.
Quitter.
Nick is very disappointed and hurt, as you can see.
I love The Daily Show. I've been watching The Daily Show since I was a kid because I have terrible parents. And they put me in front of Comedy Central when I was a little kid.
I mean, I watched South Park in elementary school, middle school.
Yeah, you probably weren't watching Eddie Murphy Raw when you were like 5.
No, that's true.
Or Richard Pryor.
Yeah, Richard
I didn't know
Pryor.
this was, pulling out dicks to see, like, comparing all those sizes and whatnot in terms
Yeah,
of what who
mine's
was
smaller,
watching
yours is big. Okay, we got over it.
My God.
What are you guys doing when you're younger?
Yeah.
What the heck? Like,
Why are we doing it when we're younger? You never been curious? Never asked? Anyway.
no.
I think that it's interesting to kind of see where Trevor Noah is going to be leaving, seeing as how Jon Stewart, he really rode that desk for years. He was very much a voice of multiple generations
Yeah.
of people, and I do feel that it's not just him being tired of it and him getting like complacent in it, but also I do see it's more of like the trajectory of news.
It's interesting because Trevor Noah was for me at least, I felt like he was more of a modern voice for the people who kind of represented our generation. Whereas, like, if you put an older folk in there, someone who's a lot older, can't really relate to him. And Trevor Noah knew how to actually speak to the audience that he was trying to sell to.
See, but the thing is that have you watched on Apple TV the Jon Stewart
I haven't,
show?
but I heard it's like pretty good.
Dude, it's basically he did the Daily Show.
But that's
it's
the
one
thing
topic.
is that he has experience, so it's not like he's
sells
going
that.
in
He
there.
sells
Yeah.
it every single time. Yeah.
He knows how to do it. So that's the bit of news. Trevor Noah's leading the Daily Show after 7 years. Moving on. Moment of silence, please. Google Stadia is announcing
Dude,
its
finally.
death. Stop.
Finally.
Stop. Have some respect
Dude,
for the
it was a
fallen.
bad idea. when
Google
they first
Stadia
announced
is
it.
announcing that it is shutting down January 18th,
For
2023.
anybody who does not know what Stadia
Can we
Yeah, I
have a
don't know
moment
what
of
that is.
silence, please?
So
Moment of
you
silence.
can't have a moment of silence if you don't know what it is. It's like it was silent the whole time it was alive. So
That's true.
obviously, if nobody knows what the heck it is. So Google Stadia was Google's version of a console.
No.
It-
Wrong.
Hold on.
Wrong.
Hang on. Stop. So what it was is that you were getting your own. So you had your own Stadia Google Chromecast. So you would then stream video games off of Google's kind of like their actual database,
The cloud.
their version of the cloud, and then you would download these games and you would stream them straight off of the Stadia servers. And then you would play, and you can, play with other people, and you could do everything else, and it came with a controller, but you were using it purely online, purely streaming the entire game. So it didn't need everything was in this cloud, so you were just pulling data, so it didn't take long downloads.
You could play Destiny on your phone.
Yeah, like you could play games off your phone, you can do everything else. The only problem with that is no one cares. Not only that, but but the thing
it's
is
not that no one cares. Now you're going a little too far. People
Then how did
care.
it die?
So here's
How did it die
You
then?
remember
How
how
did
did
it
it
die?
die? Because there was no support. No one bought it because it wasn't.
no one cares.
No, because if no one cared, then cloud gaming wouldn't exist now. Xbox, what is it? Xbox
Game
Cloud?
Pass?
Not Game Pass, but their cloud service
Yes.
is still going strong, and it's because it has that Microsoft money for sure. Google has that money.
It's got Google money. What are you talking
Exactly.
about?
It's got Google. Okay,
yeah,
do you
they didn't
remember
have
Google
money?
Glass? Moment of silence for Google Glass.
Dude,
lasted
that was
like
a
6
terror.
months.
Did you ever wear a Google Glass?
Yes, you brought it to work one time.
Yeah, that thing was
when
terrible.
we used to work together.
Yeah, that thing was
It
terrible.
was cool. It's cool.
You know how heavy your glasses were? They
Point
were
being,
so heavy.
Google brought in like heads of like gaming studios and stuff like that to work on the games.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. It lasted, I think, like almost a year and a half, 2 years at this point.
No,
Maybe
it lasted like 4 years. It
4
was like
years.
4 or 5
Was
years.
it 4 years, dude? It felt like it was just yesterday it came out.
No, because I was leaving the video game industry right when Stadia started coming out.
Well, rest in peace, Google Stadia.
So it's been a hot minute. Stadia's
Don't
been
come
out.
back, please.
Also, someone else really died. Coolio.
Oh,
That's true.
That's right.
Coolio did die.
Coolio did die. Also, apparently he filmed for his movie. He has a movie that apparently he already like filmed or did audio for. I forget. Look it up real quick. I know he was in a movie.
So while Rene looks that up, I'll do this other short bit. Cyberpunk 2077 surpasses 20 million copies sold, thanks to the anime Cyberpunk Edge Runners. So
CLI.
good for CD Projekt Red, who is getting a resurgence back to this game. You got it? Yes? No? Can I get another piece of news in there?
Just keep going.
You're not going to show any interest, Nick.
For what?
The-
For Project Red?
No! Point proven! He's looking it up.
Oh,
you got to interact with me.
Oh yeah, no.
Futurama, he said.
Oh yeah, Futurama, because he was one of the characters.
Yeah.
What was he?
So
He
he was the
has-
Jamaican pastor.
Yeah. He
That was
filmed.
Coolio.
He filmed his scenes.
He already
apparently.
recorded his
Yeah.
scenes
Wow.
for the Futurama
That's
for the
crazy.
Futurama reboot.
That's crazy.
That's what it was. I couldn't remember what it was for. It was Futurama. That's
Well,
right.
that sucks.
For I
We're
mean,
done.
Cyberpunk.
We're done with Cyberpunk. You
Cyberpunk
missed
was
that.
gonna
You
come
missed that.
out.
You paid attention to the screen.
I know I was.
You're
I
done.
was.
You're grounded.
I saw a screen
You're
and
grounded.
immediately lost it. I was like, ooh.
NASA's DART satellite makes impact with an asteroid.
Dude,
basically-
a 5-year-old could have thought of that.
Well, no, because it's
What do I
it's an
do with an
interesting
asteroid? Throw a rocket. Oh.
Look, y'all are laughing now, all right? But when an
Dude.
asteroid the size of 2 football fields decides to make impact towards
I want to
Earth,
be
all right?
in that NASA meeting when somebody played Armageddon, and then went, I want to do that.
Hey, but listen.
But we gotta
Are they
drill
wrong?
into it.
Are they wrong? Are they wrong? They're using kinetic energy to change its trajectory away from its
I
path.
thought it was so funny because I was watching it. I remember listening to it, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna be flying a rocket into an asteroid."
It's a satellite, not a rocket.
Okay, it's fine. They were flying a satellite into an asteroid to take it off its trajectory, and it was already an asteroid that wasn't on a trajectory to hit Earth.
They were testing it.
And I thought it would have been
You're
so
laughing now,
funny.
but your great
Hold
great
on,
great great
hold
great
on.
grandkids are probably thinking
I'm not
NASA.
at the funny part yet.
Oh,
The funny part is I was like, what happens if their calculations are wrong and they hit it? And all it does is bring it
goes into
straight
line
towards
on
Earth.
Earth, yeah.
And it just like, they hit it and it immediately just goes, whoop.
The
It just-
asteroid is sentient.
it just
The
imme-
asteroid's sentient. It's like, dog, who hit me?
And it adjusts.
I'm coming to you.
What about if that asteroid, while it's going through, because we put it off a specific trajectory, now it moves, hits other things, ping pongs, and now it's on our trajectory.
It's on the
We
trajectory
messed up.
path of a planet that actually holds life, and
Yeah.
because
We killed them.
we
We killed them. We're gonna be in World War V.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's after the bandwidth wars.
That's great. But it was interesting to see that bit of news. I know that NASA's also trying to send up a space probe up to Titan, one of the moons of Jupiter, I think, to see
Yeah.
if they can discover life. And that won't be for another like decade or so. But we could potentially see life
Did you see
outside.
did you see the new from the James Webb telescope when they got pictures of Uranus?
My butt?
No, I'm being serious. They actually got pictures.
Yeah,
of
I know.
Uranus
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't we
They
talk
got
about
the
that last
composition.
week?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. We talked about that.
You
missed
did?
it. Yeah.
There's
Yeah, you were dealing with your own
there's
anus.
hot gas coming from Uranus.
But you guys didn't mention this telescope. It's called the James Webb.
James Webb, no, we didn't.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Nick.
We
Thanks
were
for
too busy
that.
talking about hot
Dude,
gas and
That
Uranus.
have you actually checked out that James Webb telescope?
No.
It's pretty sick, dude. Like if you actually like looked at it, it's pretty cool. It's got 1,000 mirrors in it, so that way when it takes
What a
photos,
nerd, dude. Look at this guy, dude.
so it takes
what a nerd.
so it takes 1,000 photos.
Jesus, man.
So that's how you have such high resolution. So they use the mirrors.
Nick, I
like
gotta
pixels.
move on.
And then
Nick.
they had to like when
He's
they
not
took the
gonna
first
mind.
photo.
He's not gonna.
When they took the first photo of it, it looked like just like a puzzle. So then they had to like put it back
Renee,
together
you gotta help me out
so that
here.
way they can calibrate it. It was that's so cool.
That is actually pretty
Hold on, you're telling me that's not cool?
It is cool.
That is awesome.
We got two more. We got a couple pieces of news
I
left.
know, but James Webb, dude, science.
Yeah, science is great. I love science. I play
Science
Mass
is-
Effect. I watch
I
Star
play
Trek.
Massive. I watch Back to the Future.
Yeah, I know.
I like how your first love in this world is always going to be Star Trek, and I'm talking about space exploration, and you're like, move it along.
Well, because I got more. I got more.
Move along.
Grogu
Nobody cares.
Tamagotchi announced to be released in January
I'm gonna
with
buy one.
pre-orders opening now.
I'm gonna buy one.
I'm gonna kill mine.
I'm
gonna get him
do that
alive.
just to murder him.
There you go.
Do you think you can
Keep him
kill
alive.
Could you kill a Grogu?
Maybe. I don't know.
You would
He's
kill
like-
it through
he
here.
stays alive just to spite me.
Just as F you,
I got a
Brian.
defected one.
Just as F you, Brian.
All right.
Joey was right.
New Beverly Hills Cop and American Pie movies are announced.
Yes.
American Pie movies?
Yeah, new American Pie movie.
Is it with the same cast?
I don't know.
I don't know.
If it's not with the
how I feel
returning
about
cast,
that.
then I'm not interested.
We'll see. But another bit of piece of information: Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes announced. Who Wes Ball will be directing.
Mhm.
The writers for this will be Josh Friedman, Rick Gaffin, Amanda Silver, and Patrick Asian, I think is how they pronounce his name. But they're going to be writing the script. I'm not really excited because I did love the 3 movies of the Planet of the Apes
Yeah.
that came out. They were really, really good. I don't really see where the story's going to move along if it doesn't have Caesar. Do I actually care? Because it's supposed to take years. It's supposed to take place years after the last one.
I think it's like supposed to be like 100 years after.
Yeah, I think
something
it's
like
supposed
that.
to be his son Cornelius. taking
No,
over.
it's supposed to be like a couple of generations down the line.
See, but that's where it gets kind of like concerning because like I don't want
Is it a
wacky
show?
adventures of. No, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Yeah.
And then not only you know what the other cast that came out too was for Kingdom Hearts.
What?
The Rock is in Kingdom Hearts, man.
Kingdom Hearts for what?
Kingdom Hearts, the live action for Netflix.
You mean Avatar?
Or no, not Netflix, Disney Plus. Look it up.
Kingdom Hearts, the movie?
Yeah.
They're making a Kingdom Hearts
they're making
movie?
They're making a TV show.
Why?
Kingdom Hearts on Disney Plus.
Why would they be doing that?
Because they can.
I don't want them to.
You should look it up. Watch Kingdom Hearts TV show Disney
No.
Brian's like, no.
Plus. No.
Dude, I thought Kingdom Hearts 3 was it, and then they announced Kingdom Hearts 4, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this? Really, Rene? Can't find it. If it's on the first page, it's not
Series
true.
director reveals details about. Hold on. Oh, goddamn.
Okay.
While he's on
while he's
ad
looking
blocker.
at-
while he's doing
All
the
right,
ad
last
block.
bit of piece of information, and this will transition over to the main topic of the issue.
Right.
Can you behave yourself
I
and
can't.
actually stay on topic, Nick?
I'm like
please?
an 80.
For the love of
I'm like a
God.
kid with ADHD that just took a
I
Red Bull.
know. You come back and all of a sudden you're just like, I'm just going to divert the situation, talk about space and stuff instead of talking about the main topics. This is the transition point where we'll be talking about Marvel. Kevin Feige says Werewolf by Night will have a much bigger impact than we think on the future of the MCU. Why is this important?
No one cares.
No. We care. That's why it's the main topic, Nick. A lot of news has come out about Marvel over the last couple of days. Right?
I'm a lot of news about Marvel has come out. I'm saying, yes, continue
Yeah,
talking.
He's in front of the computer.
I know.
Why can't you interact with me? Why are you enjoying, the big shiny square thing over here on the side?
I'm not seeing anything, honestly.
Thank you. Go ahead and close that window, please. Nick's
saw it.
being distracted.
I saw it on
I'm going to
Tik-
talk to you, Rene,
I saw it on
because
Tik-
Nick's
I saw it
pissing
on-
me
I
off.
saw it on TikTok.
Nick's pissing me
I
off.
thought-
I don't care what you saw on TikTok. Kevin
was
Feige,
so- I was
basically,
gonna-
we're done with your conversation. We're done. Shut your mouth.
So Kevin-
Shut your mouth.
so Kevin
Kevin
Feige says
Feige
that it's
announces
a-
that Werewolf by Night is more important than we think. to the future of the MCU.
Because it has Swamp Thing in it, yeah. Or Man Thing, I mean.
Man Thing. Well, it's Swamp Thing, but it's just a thing.
Yeah.
But what does he mean by that? In all honesty, like, okay, because here's the thing. The way I see it.
It could be that it's getting more mystical. Or not mystical, but like, you know, they're using more of like the spookies.
Or do you think that it has some sort of connection?
Goblins. Who knows?
Because it could be.
I mean, Kevin Feige.
For all we know, you're just gonna see, you know.
I mean, Kevin Feige's pretty much of a prick, so I mean, he will have it.
You just want him out.
I do, but that's besides the point, you know. But I don't know. I just feel like he's really just shoehorning stuff in that he just wants to do.
I feel like after Infinity Saga, I really don't have a lot of faith in it now because I haven't been shown to have a lot of faith inside of like what's happened inside the King Dynasty and all this other things.
Yeah, there's nothing alluding to that. He's still barely
nothing to look forward to.
Yeah, that and then barely touched on the multiverse, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we barely got like a scratch of that.
Like Multiverse of Madness, and in all fairness, there wasn't a lot of madness inside of like it
was a one shot
movie.
Yeah.
I really thought that it was because the thing that really made sense was that Spider-Man was going to break the MCU.
Yeah.
Then he would break the multiverse. He would then go on to help Doctor Strange in his movie, and then you would then see what happens after that. And then they were kind of dealing with like this whole thing.
So I don't know why they decided to kind of like can Spider-Man out of the film after No Way Home, because he was supposed to be in Doctor Strange.
He was originally supposed to be.
Yeah. So I don't know what Marvel. I don't know. This is the thing. It's like they knew that they were going to do a multiversal movie, but thought, let's just make it the whole thing.
I feel like doing multiversal stuff is the most annoying thing in the world is its contracts.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially with like last week with the whole Deadpool stuff, everything like that was all contracts. That is
That's why it took so long.
That's why it took so long. The reason why it wasn't ready for Comic-Con was because the contracts weren't finalized.
Yeah. So
that's 100% what it was. It was somebody had not dotted an I, or there was not an extra zero at the end of a bill, or somebody wasn't getting something, and then finally the contracts were done, and they went, okay, cool. Now we can release this because it was supposed to release on. Because I 100% do think at D23, Ryan Reynolds was supposed to come out.
Yeah,
I do feel like
it.
that was going to happen,
Yeah.
and then they had to cancel it last
let's
minute.
lay everything out on the table before we discuss this, because you're 100% right. I do feel like Marvel is kind of getting stale with its MCU. It's got a lot of variety, right? But at what point are we supposed to actually be excited for something
There's
like
no
Avengers
build up to a bigger thing yet.
Exactly.
It's still individual stuff we're watching.
So
This is the most comic booky of movies that we could possibly get, because right now we're in that lull after a great run.
Yeah.
And then you get like new writers in a comic book, and it's not as good.
Yeah.
Like especially right after like a really great run, like what was it, Endgame for Batman. It was super super good. Endgame was awesome. And then you got
Rebirth.
Then you got Rebirth, and then you got like a couple other things, and you were like,
we go through those phases. You get your ups, you get your downs. Right now we're in downs.
I feel like right now for the Marvel movies, Marvel movies in general, I do feel like we're in a lull that doesn't make them bad. They're not bad movies. I do feel that the MCU in a whole isn't making sense though, and I feel like that was the major thing that made the MCU so great, is because you could see the bigger picture.
So let's put into context right now, because right now people don't know. So for those that have been living under a rock and aren't familiar with what we're talking about, Deadpool 3 was announced earlier this week. They covered it, Our Real Addiction. They covered it on their show.
Also, welcome
episode
back from
82.
Narnia. I hope the wardrobe was cool. If you didn't get my coat, I would be very upset.
What are you talking about?
They just got back.
From San Diego?
Yeah, from the witch.
That's true.
And the wardrobe. That wardrobe is killing me.
And the line.
They
And that
talked
line.
about Deadpool
Jesus.
3. Ryan Reynolds makes this announcement over social media with a small little bit funny commercial that he did.
Again, I love that it's Marvel Studios. It's no longer Fox, but now Marvel Studios is letting Ryan do certain advertisements for his own
smart.
product. Yeah.
But did you hear how hard it was?
To do that? Or?
Apparently, it was very difficult.
Really?
Apparently, they got their first taste of it for Free Guy.
Oh.
That's where they got their first taste of it, because apparently they got what was it, like Ryan Reynolds made a trailer, like a mock trailer for it, and they were like in talks for months.
For Deadpool 3?
No, for Endgame. I mean, not for Endgame, for Free Guy. because he goes, Disney does not like making fun of itself.
And
And it does not like making fun of itself. And
it
that
doesn't.
that's like the entire like marketing.
Oh, so you're talking about
thing.
Ryan having to jump through hoops to be able to make fun of the MCU.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And
I
then
believe that.
And
Yeah,
then,
no.
and then
They're really
going-
sticklers.
Yeah, like they're really sticklers. Not only that, but also Ryan having like getting a chance to like make fun of everything else. Because if you look at Free Guy's trailer, it says from the studio that brought you Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King,
Yeah.
and what was it? Aladdin twice.
Yeah.
And it,
That was the first trailer.
That was the first
for Free
trailer
Guy.
for Free Guy. It's
Yeah.
coming from the studio that brought you the Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and
Cinderella
twice.
You have to be able to make fun of yourself. I think that's
Especially
with any
for
company. Yeah.
especially for a Deadpool movie.
Because the biggest piece of news from that trailer, it wasn't Deadpool 3. It was the fact that Hugh Jackman's coming back as Logan. I got a little emotional because Hugh Jackman.
It's you.
It's
Hugh.
He made me cry
It's you.
hard. I was like, dude, you're dying. Why? It was a great movie. Logan's such a great movie.
Yeah.
No, and I do,
So great.
and I do like the idea that they were. That I was really upset about the whole thing because I saw a lot of people in the comments going like, "This is so stupid. It's gonna make Logan obsolete, and it doesn't matter anymore
my
because of this,
gosh.
this, and everything like that." And then I remember
You're
like,
getting Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah, and then
Why
I
are
was
you
kind of,
arguing
and then
it?
I thought it was really funny because I just went multiverse. They already gave you a reasoning.
Yeah, variants.
Like
Yeah.
they're variants. This is not the Wolverine that we met in the Fox universe. This is technically another Wolverine, and it just so happens to be played by Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
It's a totally different universe.
Yeah.
Maybe the same things might have happened from, what was it, from the past movies that they can pull from, but also there were some vast changes that made it, and now we're here.
But
And
see,
don't
that's
worry
all
about it.
assumptions. We got to slow our roll because right now the only thing that Ryan did was tell us that the movie's happening. Then he came out with the second one, which you mentioned, where it's Ryan and Hugh sitting down, and then they try to talk about how they're bringing Logan back. But
They're
it's
only
interrupted.
discussing the biggest question of it is that Logan died in.
How does he come
Logan.
back?
How does he come back?
and that's it.
And basically, they said that Logan takes place in 2029.
Yeah,
This one will take place in 2025.
yeah.
So
Technically,
So-
he's still alive.
So yes. Now, to kind of put more pieces of information about why Marvel right now is such a big deal in the news, there have been more reports coming out. Let's go ahead and start with this one. Marsha Ali, who is going to be playing Blade, has spoken out and essentially that he is a little bit annoyed of the script and the production so far, claiming that there are two very mediocre action sequences in the movie that he does not approve of, that he doesn't think will sell well. Other than that, we do have Armor Wars in the news as well, basically coming out saying that it is no longer a series. It is now a film.
which is interesting. I don't know what story they're gonna go about for Armor Wars specifically for Marvel Studios. So because they're making Secret Invasion a show, which
Secret
looks
Invasion takes place before Armor Wars,
Yeah.
and Armor Wars is supposed to take place
How
after.
much do you want to bet that as they started writing Armor Wars, they realized that the story got stale the longer they went with it?
if
So they
that's
said,
if
so-
that's the case, if it's gonna be better as a 2-hour movie,
then
go
why
ahead.
not?
It also
Because
could be that they've waited so long that contracts are up.
That
could be
it
too. That
And
could also
and
be a thing.
It could just be whoever we got for X, Y, and Z. There's now a scheduling conflict for trying to film a TV show, and now they're trying to make it work. Where it's like, okay, cool. Instead of us trying to make, Instead of us trying to make like a full length TV show, let's trim the fat. And we'll make this into a film.
Yeah, because you're gonna have Rhodes in it, and I'm assuming Ironheart is in
Ironheart
it.
is confirmed in it.
Yeah, and then you're building your hype for that character.
What about Gwyneth Paltrow?
She would be in
As
it because
Rescue.
She would be, because she's
probably-
Rescue. Yeah,
And then you also have Doctor Doom, which we're not sure who he's playing.
might have Happy in it too.
Happy
Yeah.
is most likely going to be in it.
Yeah.
Which also, I feel like this is but that's the other thing though, and I feel like that's so dumb, is because I feel like this is also another Spider-Man. This is another Spider-Man thing that he should be involved in.
Yeah.
Like this is a thing that Spider-Man would be involved in, because that's kind of like, how is it that your mentor, who left you everything, and he left you a whole bunch of stuff, and all of his technology is now spread across the world, and people are using it for bad things.
But see, the problem I
And
see
you
with
just
that
kinda
is
go
that
like,
Spider-Man ended. Spider-Man No Way Home ended in a way that kind of like ended the Spider-Man story if they couldn't get Tom Holland to have a new contract, which they do. He signed up for another movie, so it's good and confirmed there.
Yeah.
But at the time, it ended in a way that's like, this is where we could basically put Spider-Man to rest if we don't need him back anymore. Now, looking at these pieces of news, right? I'm going to make a bold claim. I don't know if you guys will agree with me when I say this, but I do believe that this could be actual fact. Black Panther will define if the future of the MCU will be stable enough for us to be excited for the next 2 years. Because this is going off what you guys are basically saying. There's nothing to look forward to. Everything has been scrambled. Mm-hmm. There's no big details coming out about the Kang Dynasty or about the multiverse saga. Everything seems scattered. Nothing really makes any sense right now, because you guys are right in that sense that Multiverse of Madness was supposed to have Spider-Man in it, and it just became a one-shot adventure for Doctor Strange, and everything's all hunky-dory again. It's all great.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We look at the other movies, they're not really memorable. Not even the TV shows connect to one another, which kind of works in a way. It gives people the independence to want to just watch the movies and shows that they want to watch.
Well, except for Miss Marvel, whose ending is directly going into the Marvels.
Right? But it doesn't connect to anything else besides that, right? And we don't even know what the story of the Marvels is going to be like or what its main focus is. We know the 3 main characters in the movie. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, at least, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever will be that point where we will sit down and say, like, this movie was really good, or this movie was not as good as we wanted it to be, and the MCU was going to not do well for Phase 5 and 6.
I think that what you need is a big bad. You need somebody that they can rally, they can rally towards, because right now we don't have an overarching menace. Because right now, don't get me wrong, Jonathan Majors, great actor. He's a great Kang. I am so excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp, for him to play Kang and for him to, give me goosebumps as he speaks.
He does have a good line in that trailer where he goes like, "Tell me, which one did I kill you before?
Have I killed you
Have
before?
I killed you before?"
What was that?
That was in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer.
But that was a leak one.
Yeah, where he's like,
yeah.
No, it was in the D23 one too, where he goes, I don't know if you know this, but I'm an Avenger.
Yeah, Ant-Man tells him he's an Avenger.
And he's like, have I killed you before?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just like, what?
And it ends right there.
Yeah, and it ends right there. It's a great line.
Kang wasn't in Ant-Man and the Wasp, right?
He's in the new one. He's in
the new
Quantumanium.
movie. Yeah.
But not in the
last one, no.
No, he was not in...
So you're talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania,
Yes.
the trailer that was leaked.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that...
Well, it was leaked and they showed it at D23. It's now out.
Is it out?
Yeah.
It's not
Quantumania
officially
trailer?
out. No.
Yeah, they showed it at D23.
But it's not out because it would have been all over the internet and I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Oh, I saw it.
I mean, it's still. I mean, someone recorded it and uploaded it. But
Can
it's
you
not
show me
official.
afterwards?
Yeah.
Actually, no, we're not watching it. No, we're not.
But that's besides the point. The thing is that you had it over for these movies, the Infinity Saga, even though Thanos never showed up or anything else, there was always this through line. It was a very thin string that would bring you to Thanos and go okay, Thanos is an overarching villain that it will eventually appear. Whether it be the Infinity Stones, or people would just take time and go where are the Infinity Stones? Where are they? Where are they located? How would Thanos have to jump through?
We
How would he
knew
do everything else?
through an Infinity Stone we would get some sort of hint at Thanos.
What are those action figures that Marvel sells where they sell you the full action
the
figure?
Build-A-Figures?
The Build-A-Figures. That's
Yeah.
kind of what it feels like, is that you're right in that sense where it's Thanos was teased in mostly every MCU film all the way up to Phase 3.
It feels like we got the line and they're giving us random Build-A-Figures of certain characters. We'll have two legs for Kang, but then I have an arm for Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's this going?
And because it doesn't make sense for Doctor Doom unless we're all wrong. It's not Doctor Doom. It's another variant of Kang that ends up trying to take over Wakanda for his resources, which would be dumb. Because Doctor Doom would just make sense. Doctor Doom is just a better villain for it.
Yes.
Start introducing Doctor Doom so that way by the time we get to Fantastic Four, we understand who this villain is.
I will say this. I feel like Marvel needs to stop killing off their villains when it comes to movies.
Because Hammer's supposed to be inside of Armor Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Hammer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's supposed to come back for Armor Wars.
Yeah, because he was mentioned in, I think,
Hail to the King.
Yeah, he was mentioned in Hail to the King, and he was also mentioned in another.
MCU thing.
MCU movie, yeah.
And then you have more story from Armor Wars after with Ironheart, because that's going to be the aftermath of Armor Wars.
Oh, definitely.
And her becoming the new Iron Man.
With everything that we've been through,
or
Iron Man.
Iron Woman.
Iron Woman.
with everything that we've been through over the last 2 years because of COVID and everything, it kind of does feel like Marvel has had to sit down and rewrite itself multiple
I
different
think
times.
COVID really kind of like pushed,
Really hurt it.
Yeah, pushed really everything back and rethink the plan. Because we were supposed to get, was it Doctor Strange and Spider-Man like a year prior?
Because I do think that Kang was the big bad, but now it doesn't feel like it is because we waited. Because that's the thing, is that we've waited way too long for Kang to be the big bad. Because Loki, as good as the show was, that Kang was underwhelming. And the show ends with the evil version of Kang that we know in a statue, not in person.
Well, we don't even know if that's the real Kang. We don't even know if that's the Kang that we're meeting.
We
in
don't. And then
Quantumania.
we won't even know until what? Quantumania doesn't come out until late 2023 or 2024, right?
That's technically the end of Phase 5.
Which we're so far away from. At what point are you going to make him or introduce him to be like the next Thanos? Which is why I say that Wakanda Forever will be that defining
Because that's
moment.
supposed to end 4, right?
That's supposed to end.
Oh,
4.
I'm sorry. No, that's supposed to be beginning 5. That's the beginning
Quantumania?
of 5.
Yeah.
Quantumania
Oh, so then
is
it's
the
next
begin-
year.
So it's the beginning of next year.
Yes.
I think it's in like April.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
That's cool.
excuse our
So
mistake
yeah,
right
it's
there.
Wakanda.
I mean,
it's Wakanda first, then it's Ant-Man and
I
the
am
Wasp.
happy that we're going to get a Kang-centric story in our next movie coming
How
soon.
interesting would this be, right? Theoretically speaking, if Doctor Doom gets introduced in Wakanda Forever, and then Kang gets introduced in Quantumania, and the entire lead up for Phase 5 and 6 is the two bad guys just confronting each other, and every character that we know just being stuck in the middle. It's two big bads fighting.
I also wouldn't mind because Doctor Doom eventually has to escape. I'm assuming in Wakanda Forever he's not going to die.
No,
I'm assuming that Doctor
but
Doom
he's
is
not
going to
in
be,
Wakanda Forever. I think
No,
he's
he's
at the end.
He's going to be in
no,
that.
what I'm saying is I personally do think that it's going to be Namor that's going to be our villain. They're going to come to an understanding. Namor's not going to die. He's eventually going to become a hero.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get like a Namor movie down the road.
You can't
Then-
kill off a mutant.
Exactly. Well, hold on. So
Because
before-
mutants can't die.
well, hold on. Before we
comic
move on
books
to the
again.
whole like mutant
They
thing
can't
and
die.
everything else, then we go into the end credit scene for Black Panther, and it's going to be Doctor Doom talking to Kang, because Kang is giving him information on where to find things, and you're going to find out that he is using Doctor Doom as a puppet. Because that would make way more sense, and then that would lead you to Battle World.
I don't
So
see.
To lead you
apparent-
then into
I
Secret
think
Wars.
someone said that like by the time we get to Secret Wars, why did my phone restart? That's
I have
weird.
no idea.
That's the third time it did that. That's not good. And because by the time we get to Secret Wars, we're supposed to have like lines are drawn. Like we're supposed to have people that might side with Kang, people that are against Kang by that time. And it's supposed to be like this big thing.
That's why you have the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Because the Thunderbolts is supposed to be that like other side of the Avengers, right? So we are getting that separation.
Yeah.
The way I see this kind of playing out is Feige said we had one big bad for the first 3 phases. The next 3 phases we're going to give you 2 big bads. Kang and Doctor Doom,
Yeah.
and that's going to set up the Kang dynasty, which will then set up Secret Wars, which will then be Doctor Doom killing off Kang and having those two essentially kind of like duking it out. So you are going to have the people allying themselves with Kang, not necessarily agreeing with him, but trying to take down Doctor Doom in Secret Wars and Battle World, and you'll have probably the Thunderbolts siding with Doctor Doom, trying to keep Battle World a thing.
Because Deadpool comes out when 2023,
2024.
2024.
I think March or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, September. It's actually September.
It was
My
9.
birthday month?
It was 9/4/2024.
Nice. But I don't think Deadpool will be that big of an impact to the MCU. I think it's just a one-shot funny movie.
No, it's not gonna have a huge impact. It's just like it's not gonna lead to anything. It's just gonna be Deadpool in the cinematic universe.
But I'm not expecting anything from that movie.
No.
That's totally different. This didn't put my faith back into the MCU.
September 6th,
It just-
2024.
It just made it cool. That was
It brought back the hype.
Yeah, it
Like,
brought back the hype. I'm excited to see everything else. I'm excited to see Hugh back inside of back with the claws. I'm excited to see him with a comics accurate look.
That was the thing that a lot of people are talking about.
Did you see the new Deadpool costume? It's all
No.
black.
Is it all black?
It's all black with
it's
like
all
tints
black
of red.
from it's like the X-Force one.
No way.
Yeah.
Look up the image. Yeah, because that was
People
like a
were also
concept art.
arguing that they wanted Wolverine to have his yellow spandex.
I want him to have his yellow spandex. Do it.
It would be
Yes.
interesting.
I feel Ryan Reynolds would totally do that.
I would like that.
He would give him like the
Yeah.
yellow
yeah,
and blue
yeah.
suit. Yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds is the one that's producing this one, right? Or
Yeah.
is he just
I think
a
he's an
showrunner?
I think he's an executive producer on it.
So he's got words. I mean, he's got say in it. In the last 2 Deadpool movies, if it wasn't for him and his direction
Yeah.
and how he took it, the other 2 movies wouldn't have been as fun as they are.
Or even gotten made.
Oh,
See,
it was in the
it's-
trailer. Yeah.
it's still how it was all gray from Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is.
No, there was another one too.
Really?
It was a concept art. Yeah, that came out.
Oh, concept art. But it could have been fan art, but that was in the trailer. Point being, I don't think Deadpool 3 is that big of an impact to actually matter, but you are right. It's supposed to be the hype machine to kind of get you looking forward towards something else. It also confirms that the MCU will be focusing on mutants,
Yeah.
which is good because now we have Wolverine in there. We had Professor Xavier in the Multiverse of Madness. We have Namor, and then we do have Miss Marvel basically confirming that she is a mutant.
Well, because I if I'm not mistaken, I feel like that's also really hard too, because I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to run out the clock before X-Men come out. Before we can because right now we bought X-Men, we need to be able to use this property that we have. But according to the Fox contracts says that they still have another 3 years before they can recast the X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do I use the X-Men without, but I still have to use the old cast of X-Men? How do I do this? And it's like, okay, what about if I did a bunch of one-shots of very like funny movies? Like I can use Wolverine over here, and then I can introduce the X-Men in this movie, and I can do X, Y, and Z in this one, and you can do different stuff. Because that would be interesting if like, what about if Deadpool was there during the tragedy of during the tragedy that leads to Logan?
See, that's the unfortunate part. If you guys are basically saying that Disney will not allow itself to be made fun of, then how far can they take Deadpool into making fun of the MCU?
I feel like they need to take something. They have to do something like that, because not only you are giving Ryan Reynolds leeway, but at the same time you're showing that we can take a joke. It's only Deadpool. It's not serious. We can do it.
Yeah.
You're showing that you can handle it.
The funny thing about this is, do you guys remember the end of Deadpool 2? He basically travels throughout time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and he fixes all the timelines.
Basically, what is so funny to me is that one scene where he tries to take care of Hitler, baby Hitler, but instead he's like cuddling him and making sure that he's all good.
He ends up doing it.
Yeah.
He ends up killing Hitler.
Wait, how?
It's at the end of the scene. He ends up doing it.
What did he do? I forget. I
He
thought
then goes, all right, maximum effort.
Yeah. He goes like this.
And then you just see his hands go in, and he
No, but that's when he picks him up and starts like swaddling him and everything.
I don't remember.
I remember him swaddling him, and then he puts him back, and then he goes.
That was it. It doesn't kill him.
I'm like 90%.
We
sure.
can check afterwards and see who's right.
We'll
see who's right.
Is Deadpool a baby murderer?
But see, that would be interesting is if he uses Cable's belt and it malfunctions or he fixes it to be able to travel from universe to universe, and he's able to visit like the things of Endgame or like certain tragic events, and basically witness them himself. That would be fun. Disney just needs to stop being all stingy about it.
But that's what I'm saying though, is that if you can make this a buddy cop, not necessarily a buddy cop movie, but a buddy travel movie, kind of like what is it called? What's the one with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis? Due Date.
Mm-hmm.
If you do make it kind of like that, but instead it's them traveling the multiverse, of like popping in and out, and like because because it's broken, and they're both trapped because something happened. Maybe Wolverine clawed it, and now it's going crazy.
The whole premise is them just getting back to their timelines.
Yes, trying to get back to their timeline. And then that way you could pop in and out of these different universes. You can then meet different characters that would never meet in whatever. And then you can literally end it with them dropping into the MCU. And then you can go, cool. It broke the MCU. Like, they're stuck here. Like, they're stuck in the MCU. And you can do it like that, and you can go like, oh, are the mutants here, or like Charles Xavier here, and you can start introducing him like that.
It kind of does suck that Deadpool 3 is the hype that came out of this, like all the pieces of information that came out of the MCU. I don't think that Disney or Marvel Studios were ready. Excuse me. I don't think they were ready for D23. I think they were just kind of scrambling and picking up whatever scraps they could to kind of put out there and say like, this is the best we can do, guys. This is what we can give you, and that's about it.
I really do think that contracts aren't done with people. There's a lot of contracts that are out there, and I'm pretty sure they're not all solidified yet.
So then why rush certain things? Because it does kind of feel like now you're not necessarily you don't have a plan for the MCU. There's nothing because...
Well, that was the problem with when they said we're not going to do multi-year contracts.
Yeah, and I get that.
When you do that, it's harder for us to plan.
But there's no actual excitement for Wakanda Forever. In all honesty, no disrespect to Chadwick Boseman. No disrespect to him because it's going to be an ode to him.
How dare you?
It's no disrespect. I just said that.
Whenever you say there's no disrespect, there was a bunch of disrespect behind it.
Well, the thing is that
No
this
problem.
is going to be possibly Marvel's top grossing movie of all time
Wakanda Forever?
because you're going to have a movie that doesn't have your lead actor and everyone wants to see how that movie's going to be.
I'm telling you right now, he's going to die to Namor. He's going to be murdered by Namor.
Everyone just wants to see how the movie's going to function and who's going to be the new Black Panther.
But by word of mouth, it could also kind of make it like, because that's the thing is that if the movie doesn't sell itself within the first like 15 minutes, right? Because they have to kill him off in the first 15 minutes.
I'm not going to lie. I really do feel that they should have just recast. I get that.
No.
I
know. I feel like I completely agree with Nick.
I feel like
really?
they should.
They could have recasted. That's the thing.
Chadwick Boseman's family even said he wouldn't. It would have been fine with it.
Yeah, they would have been fine with it. But Kevin Feige said he felt that it was too early. Too early for what? It's been a couple of years. I get it. You know, Chadwick Boseman.
Be respectful to it, but I mean, you can still move on and like. It's the same thing. You've recasted people for less.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me that you couldn't have recast Chadwick Boseman? You're never going to find a Chadwick...
Genius idea. Mm-hmm. Genius idea. Disney, hire me, right? You play this movie off as Black Panther's dead, right? And then you bring him back to life. You bring a hero from the dead back to life.
And he looks different.
He looks different. It's a recast. That could do it.
See, people need to get over the whole fact that like, oh, it looks like a different person. You know, it's just recast him. That's it. Cut it. That's it. You don't.
It's the same thing with was it Don Cheadle?
Yeah.
From going from 1 to 2 in Iron Man, they had one line about it, and they just went, "Look it, it's me. I'm here. Deal with it. Let's move on." And then they keep going on with the movie. Honestly, I do feel that it would not have been disrespectful to Chadwick Boseman.
It wouldn't have, Nick, but you also have to consider the fact that people are sensitive. And so if you recast and it doesn't go well, what ends up happening?
Now you risk your film.
Now I'm risking my film and my universe because I had changed everything up because of one person.
As Disney, is it a bigger hit for you guys to have that criticism of saying your movie sucked because you guys didn't recast? Or for the movie to suck and say you guys disrespected Chadwick Boseman? What's worse PR?
Worse PR. I'm worried about money. It was millions of dollars for them to rewrite that script because they were almost done with it.
Yeah,
they were almost done, and then he ends up passing away.
So now you gotta plan your entire universe again because Black Panther
was supposed to be a bigger portion.
Yeah, he was gonna be a bigger role. He has a
big war in Secret Wars, yeah.
Yeah, he was going to play a big role in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That's the thing is that we still don't know. What if they did recast and we just don't know?
I don't think they did.
No, it's Shuri.
No,
because
it's Shuri.
someone
takes over.
Someone leaked a pop figure, and it was the version of Black Panther in Wakanda Forever, and they had the same dots that Shuri had. Yeah, and it was the same body type.
Nothing is stopping Marvel from recasting Black Panther and giving us another version of him back from the dead. There's nothing because bear in mind, I feel like
bringing back Black Panther from the dead is even worse. I feel like that's more disrespectful.
Not if you have the multiverse.
No, but the thing is that you already have an idea. Like I'm gonna kill off,
our version
T'Challa.
Our version of
and then
Chadwick
just
Boseman.
For a couple of years later, you know what? We can do it now. We have the time. We're gonna bring back T'Challa.
All I'm saying.
That's also really bad towards Shuri as well too as a character.
I'm just saying, okay, that Black Panther plays a big role in the Secret Wars comic book.
I'm just saying,
Right?
there's a lot
He's
of
the
really,
one that stands up to Doctor Doom and holds the Infinity Gauntlet that basically destroys all of Battleworld, right?
I think that you should. Chadwick Boseman is not the only talented African American actor.
No,
out
that's
there.
why I'm saying you could
And
recast
you
him
could have
afterwards.
recasted him with a bunch
Secret
of
Wars is
different
not for
people.
another 2-3 years.
There's a lot of really talented African American.
Just recast him in another year or so. Keep Shuri as the Black Panther for this universe. Get her, to be in a couple movies for the next 2 years, and then recast and give us a different Black Panther in Secret Wars. He comes back and it's like, yes, it is I'm Black Panther. It's the new.
I feel like that's
it's the
harder
new-
though. That's way harder.
It could happen.
No,
I believe.
But you would have no emotional connection to this Black Panther.
That's fine. Just make him badass.
No, because you would have. It wouldn't be like, oh yeah,
Nick, you're just disagreeing with me because
it's T'Challa. No, because you don't make sense. You're telling me that.
I make 100% sense.
You're telling me that you would have emotional connection, and that would be a satisfying moment for you in a movie theater of seeing a random guy in a T'Challa outfit, and then him going
John
like, "I am
Krasinski.
T'Challa," and then you're going like, "Oh yeah, that totally makes sense."
I got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, and I felt emotionally connected.
But that's because that's what you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what you wanted.
Yes.
You wanted John Krasinski.
And this is what I want for Black Panther. This is what I want for T'Challa. So I will feel an emotional connection the moment I see it.
But we never had a Mr. Fantastic. We never.
You know what,
so
Nick?
we have no.
You know what?
We have no connection
Let me have
to
this
Mr.
moment.
Fantastic. No.
Because when it happens, you will also cry. Be like, oh my God, it's Black Panther. It's T'Challa.
I would have been like, no, who's that guy?
That's not Chadwick.
Who's that guy up there? Because I have no idea who this person is.
Final question before we move
Yeah.
on, because we do have to wrap up in about half an hour. We have She-Hulk to
We still
talk
have
about.
to talk about She-Hulk.
Are you guys looking forward to Black Panther?
I am.
I am intrigued to see where it's gonna go.
Okay.
Like you said before, I do agree with you. This is the make it or break it moment for the future of the MCU. Of having this is after Black Panther, is it gonna be good? Are we gonna keep going, or is this where we stop?
Black Panther will decide if Keeping Up with the Nerds goes on for another year.
Don't say that.
That's not how it works. No.
Yeah.
That's why they're not.
If we
Bryan
don't have
stays
the
on.
MCU, yeah, exactly, right?
That's why they're not. Bryan
And
stays
Rene
on.
confirmed it. If I wasn't here, this would only last another 2 months.
No.
That's what Rene said.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
Is that on camera?
that was on camera.
Oh.
I'm not gonna find it.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say. Okay, then
Play the clip.
No, I'm not.
play it again.
I'm not playing it. Why do I have to look for it?
Because you're the one
'Cause
that
you brought
said
it
I
up.
said it. Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
'cause
remember
it's true.
saying it.
I remember you saying
So
it.
you're gonna have to go through the archives and find it.
That's 117 issues. Dude.
Have fun.
That's 117.
You brought this. You did this to you.
117.
And your ego.
Yeah, only you did this.
Oh my
I didn't do it. You did this.
Rene
Now
did this
edit.
'cause he's the one that said, oh my
Like, get back to work.
Stop. Okay, moving on.
What?
She-Hulk talk.
It's hot. What?
It's hot.
It's cold in here, man.
Oh, it is.
I like the cold.
I know. I can tell. You could cut diamonds with them.
There's nothing here. I'm wearing a shirt and a flannel. Why do you have to say things for the audio listeners that don't make sense?
They know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because you're the one that keeps making up crap. You've been misbehaving, dude. I'm gonna put you in timeout. No, you're going into the restroom.
So what are you gonna do to me?
Nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sending you to the restroom, and that's it.
Listen.
Locked up in there.
You can't make promises. All right. I'm excited.
Oh
now.
God. Okay,
I'm
Rene, can you
excited.
talk about She-Hulk, please?
She-Hulk.
The end.
It was okay.
Yes. So this is the first episode where I think that the three of us can confirm that it was
It was me.
It was a very meh episode,
Like-
but nothing that I don't hate the series. You don't see me being like,
Oh, we got to play the part
boycott.
again.
Oh, yeah. No.
Listen,
That thing's always
that-
exhausting.
Yeah, that's exhausting.
That's
on its own.
It's
exhausting.
so much
It's-
energy to play like a freaking
It's
weirdo,
already
dude.
it's already gonna be almost
mean,
11 o'clock. I'm
like-
not doing this at night. I'm
I
not doing
mean,
this.
it's a lot of energy to act like I don't thirst over She-Hulk. Okay, so like,
for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Look, this episode was and I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Really got to get to the point.
This is the episode. Well, because if you keep interrupting me,
No.
I'm never gonna get there.
No, I mean I'm talking about the
This
show,
is
not you.
So
Oh,
the
okay.
episode was kind of
I'm
mad.
talking about the show, not you.
It's the episode that 100% confirms to people that this is just a pandering show. I'm over and done with the character development of Jennifer Walters.
Yeah.
We get it.
We are lingering on Jen
Yes.
on Jen a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jen doesn't have confidence.
in all
Jen
fairness,
doesn't know who she is.
The character development of Jennifer Walters so far has been at the pace of a CW show.
Yes,
Dang.
Like,
it was fun.
like
it
they're-
was great
like
for the
they're-
first
they're-
5 episodes.
They're pacing her out like they got 25 episodes.
Yeah.
That's true. That's honest. That's honest.
They're like, I get it if you got 25 episodes and we're gonna pace this like character development out in a snail's pace. But honestly, last episode I was kind of like, all right, y'all gotta pick. You gotta get to the point. Like, what is the point of the show?
It's cute. It's cute to see her grow because every episode she's learning something new about herself.
Yeah.
She gains a point of confidence. It's like she levels up and then charisma
I
gets
get,
added on.
I get that, but
Like
the
a little bloop.
but
Yeah,
the thing
exactly.
is that you promised me an attorney show.
That's true.
This is not an attorney
you
show.
also
know what?
promised me Daredevil.
No, but what I'm saying is that you promised me, like, okay, if there would have been like legalities that were going on, I wanted an episode of Law and Order. All right,
Yeah.
I wanted like something like, oh yeah, because he broke his restraints. Now he's gonna have to go back to prison. Now
Yeah.
we're gonna have to fight it. Okay, cool. We're gonna do some legalese.
Like, what was the reason why he broke his restraints?
Yeah, like why did we break? It was a lot of like really just silly things of like, oh, Abomination broke his restraints, so we have to go talk to it. It was honestly somebody who went in the writer's room feeling, how do we get Jen to go talk to Abomination so that way she can have a heart to heart?
I'm also going to write in the fact that this writing is more like, how can we just not use CGI as much as
It's
possible?
possible. How do we
the
keep Jen?
budget's the budget's starting to wear
was-
thin a
was
bit.
Crap, we used all our budget on Abomination and Wong. Oh,
Yeah, like our CG budget's really starting to hit the seams here. Not only that, but also, listen, I get it. I'm a man. I know I understand that we could be jerks.
and clip that.
Yeah, I'm a man.
I know what point you're getting to. Go for
I
it.
understand it. Yes, we can all be jerks. We can all, there's this.
We have some toxic traits.
We have a lot of toxic traits.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to happen every single episode.
Yeah,
It seems like
Oh, you
every
guys are
person.
finally feeling the heat, huh?
No, but
all of us.
It really. No, but it.
Hey, you know what? I've had it. All right, we're not all this bad.
Hey,
Yeah?
I didn't cheat on my wife.
It's true. He hasn't netted out. Yeah. He hasn't pulled a Ned. We're fine.
Yeah.
He's not even married yet.
No, but I get that. It's like
He's not married. 2 kids.
No.
It's you're right. It's like every episode something bad happens to her. Just when Jen gets something right, we end up finding out that the
What?
guy she's dating, spoiler alert, basically is out to take her blood.
Not only
That's
that,
all
but
it
also,
is.
why did we have to hit that? Why did we have to hit that tag so early? We just met this dude last episode.
Yeah.
Into a montage of like a 3-week relationship.
3 days.
3.
Was it 3?
It was
I
maybe-
thought
3
it was a
days,
week.
I think.
It was 3 dates. It was
Oh.
3 dates.
Oh.
So
Date a
once
week.
per. That's why I'm saying like a date a week. Because she said.
How many
that-
times do you date a week?
How often do you go on a date?
Yeah.
When you were first dating, how often did you go on a date? Once a week.
No, I think like twice.
A week?
I have to
you're-
check in with Andy. I don't remember.
Okay, well,
It's been
Brian-
9 years,
let's
dude.
check
What do
back.
you want me to do?
Remember, it's
Yeah,
your
it's-
relationship.
you lived it. You lived it.
Yeah.
So
God,
that's
man.
besides the point, though.
So
What
much
I'm-
pressure.
What I'm saying.
I'm
what-
working on this. I'm working on that. I'm going to school, and you guys are putting me on the
As he has
spot.
a mental breakdown. Go
I
ahead.
am.
So while he has a mental breakdown, what I'm saying is that not even if he was going to be a traitor and everything else, I don't feel that you needed to have that reveal right now.
Yeah.
Why not make us
That would have
care?
been cool. That would have been cool next episode if it was like,
With 1 episode left.
yes.
There's only one more episode,
No, there's 2
There's 2.
episodes left.
so I'm assuming Daredevil shows up in the last episode. That's
That's so dumb.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
that sounds about right. Like I highly doubt.
I feel like they're gonna
there's
wait.
I feel like Matt Murdock shows up in the next episode, and then Daredevil shows up in the final
Here's why I'm.
because they have to still introduce Matt Murdock.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I highly doubt they're gonna go like, oh, but up, and Matt Murdock's here, and then Daredevil. I
can't
see. And like that's it.
Other way. Oh,
Matt, the camera's over there.
my bad. Sorry.
No, but that's the thing though, is that honestly, I was giving the show a lot of credit. It was doing really well.
No. Take that back. the show still deserves a lot of credit.
The show deserves a lot of credit.
It's a good overall show. What I'm mad about, okay, is that this episode,
You're beating a dead horse.
yes, and it sucks because the people who are saying this is a pandering show, this show serves no purpose, this show is not relatable to me,
Yeah.
all this different crap, it kind of proves them right.
You're
and it's
giving
by
them
one episode.
ammunition. That's
Yes.
the thing.
With
You're giving those type of fans ammunition.
Fans? They're not fans.
I do feel like this
Marvel
is-
fans.
I felt like this was a very lazily written episode.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
feel like honestly somebody in the writer's room went, we need to connect this to Abomination and we need to get these things out. How do we do that?
I did like the D-list or E-list villains.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I was fine.
Porcupine,
Matador.
El Matador. You have the vampire dude, and then you had
Bullman.
Bullman. Bullman's
So
cool.
my favorite part about that, right, was when the crowbar guy from
Yeah.
the wrecking crew comes in,
Yeah.
and she looks like all shocked.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm just like,
Who is that?
And
Really?
she's like,
I knew
no,
who he
I didn't
was.
know. And then she
honestly,
like turns to the
honestly,
camera, and is like, you're
I didn't
probably
know who it
wondering
was.
who this is, and I'm like, yeah, I was.
It's because his hair was pulled back. I
Yeah.
didn't
Oh no,
didn't-
I knew exactly where I was like.
I
Oh,
didn't know.
that's the wrecking crew dude.
But it was funny because that, like, here's the thing: the writers are smart because they did. That is so clever. I don't care if you didn't fall for it.
Yeah.
it's clever because
No, it was
there's
still
a good
good.
portion
Yeah.
of people that did that did what we did.
Yeah,
Where we're
we-
like, oh, she spoke to us, you know?
Yeah, she's like going like, listen, I know you don't pay attention when a woman speaks, but this is but this is what happened in a previous episode.
Yeah.
Stop.
So good.
But it's smart writing because you know what? That fourth wall breaking isn't overused. It's
It's not,
fine.
but I do have to say I am getting a little bit tired of it. Not tired of the fourth wall breaking, but just the episodes really need to start making sense. Like you
I
really
want
need
She-Hulk.
and that's the thing though, is that I'm not getting the lawyer show that I wanted.
You want lawyer? I want She-Hulk. What do you want?
I wanted a little action in it at least. Nothing.
No.
Nothing in these past two episodes. Like even then, the wedding episode barely had like. I don't know why they're not having Jen or Tatiana fight. Like it's like
They're just like they throw each other once,
yeah.
and then
they're both super strong.
I'm telling you, this show is like it belongs on the CW.
Yeah.
We're like they're super strong and they throw them through a window and then they're like, oh no, they got away. And it's like, bro, you're the Flash. You're the
So-
fastest man in the world. You go chase that dude.
I forget her last name, but
I'll get him next week.
the actress Jamil, I forget her last name, the actress that plays Tatiana.
Jamil and Johnny.
She's so talented. Because did you see The Good Place?
Yes.
Did you see The Good Place?
She was
Yeah, a
amazing
little
in
bit.
Yeah, she's so good in it, and the fact that
Smash.
she's able. And that is the end of this issue, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
You're a monster, Smash.
Point being, she's such a great actress because she's able to transition.
I feel like they're not using her to her full potential.
Thank you.
Smash. Sorry. It's fun.
This is where we get canceled.
Your aneurysm is bringing me
The
joy.
veins coming out right
I can
now.
see the vein. Yeah,
I know.
it's really good. It's getting bigger.
Okay,
I
All
call,
right.
I call
She's a
that
good
one
actress.
little. I call that one little Nikki,
Smash.
and then I call the other one little Rene.
Why'd you say it like that?
Huh?
Why'd you say Rene like that?
Oh, because it's the longer one.
Stop, dude.
It's the one. It's the slower killer.
Oh my gosh, dude.
It's the slower killer.
What can we look forward to in the next episode of She-Hulk?
Matt Murdock, I guess.
Smash.
That sure. You know, hey man.
Yeah.
That guy. Which
He's a beautiful
Cox
man.
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's hot. He's hot.
Yeah.
No, but that's honestly. There has to be some kind of, which is weird because that means that we have to really close things up because we have to put Matt Murdock in the
Yeah.
suit. We then have to introduce her to Matt Murdock.
Then
We
they-
finish up the
Yeah.
whatever's going on with what's.
Well,
her
they
name?
meet up during a fight too. That's another thing. They meet
Yeah.
up during a fight.
But then they still have to figure out what's going on with what's her face.
Yeah, with Jen.
with Bling Girl.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We have no idea what's going on there. Then we also have the Hulk King. Then we
Yeah.
have what's going on with the Wrecking Crew. And then there's that's what I'm saying. You have 2 episodes, and there's a lot of questions that haven't
It's
been answered.
you know what it is. It's suffering from Moon Knight, like how Moon Knight was. Remember how Moon Knight was, where it was the last 2 episodes, and we were like, there's still a lot to do.
There's still a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's still a
for
lot
only
of,
like 45 minutes.
And it did. It fizzled out towards the end. because there wasn't enough time. They had that abrupt ending where it's like, oh yeah, Steve and Grant are just in the apartment, and it just ends. That's it.
And then you have like that after credit scene or whatever. See, because I'm really trying to figure out. Okay, so we're saying that the Hulk King is somebody. Who is the Hulk King? And then not
I
only
want to
that,
say it might be the leader.
not only that, but also
wanna
it's
say it's
really
the leader.
gross. Like
The
I
leader
like
who?
that felt
The
icky.
leader.
Yeah, the actual leader.
The leader. You never heard of the leader? The smart guy, the big
The guy that was
with
in
big head.
the guy that
Hulk
was
villain?
in
Yeah.
the guy that was in the original Hulk movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Isn't
supposed
he
to
supposed to be in it?
He's supposed to be in Thunderbolts, apparently.
So it would make sense that he would show up now.
Yeah, I would like to see where he's at now.
That would be interesting because he is
Well, they
supposed to show up
did
in
bring back
Thunderbolts.
Abomination, so it would make sense for him to
Right.
make an appearance.
That could be a
here.
secret, yeah, a little
But
secret.
that's what
casting.
But that's the thing, though, is that how do you have all of these like things up in the air? What is Daredevil? My thing is that you promised us Matt Murdock.
Yeah, that was your selling point.
That was
honestly.
honestly your selling point.
Yeah.
Was Daredevil was going to be in it, and I thought. What I originally thought was this was going to be a law show. This was because that's what it was advertised at. It is literally called She-Hulk Attorney at Law. So I thought that it was going to be a lot of like little tiny cases, her dealing with being a superhuman, and then her trying to do what's right in the superhero human community, and then maybe that even leading to like them reversing the Superhero Act.
Yeah.
Like that would have been a really cool thing of them reversing the Sokovia Accords. Or, people have the right to privacy even though they're superhuman. Like it's not fair that they have to register. Make it so that way it matters. Make it so that way, we have this lawyer that's supposedly really good. We're just not using her. And we're just saying she's really conflicted because she doesn't know who she is.
That's all this show is.
And that's what
It
it's
just
been.
didn't get to that point.
But the thing is that but I've already been told that in 4 other episodes that Jen Walters doesn't know who she is. You really got it. Now you're just beating a dead horse. And I get it. She has an epiphany this episode. That's great. Now we don't have to deal with it anymore. But you did it with 2 episodes left.
So here's the thing. What I'm expecting in these next 2 episodes is full-on She-Hulk. If you're going to give me 4 episodes of self-development as Jen Walters, and she has the epiphany in this episode, and she's like, I understand I could be happy with Jen, and I can also be happy with She-Hulk, give us the next episodes. Give us those episodes as She-Hulk episodes. We don't know who She-Hulk is. We know that she's Hulk, and that it's a she. That's it.
And that she's a she.
Not only that, but also give me more attorney at law. You keep saying
That's
that
gone. That's out the window.
No, but you keep. But the thing is that you keep. Jen Walters keeps on saying, "I'm
That
a
is
great lawyer.
out of the window.
I'm a great lawyer. I'm a great, I'm one of the best lawyers in the city and everything like that." Prove it to me.
Nick, that's out
Prove
the
this
window
to me.
because of this episode.
Even Matt Murdock, even in Daredevil,
What
he was
not in
doing
this
some
episode?
lawyering.
When was what was not in this episode that every other episode had?
Daredevil. Just kidding.
No, the title card.
Oh, they changed up the title card
They
a bit.
didn't do a title card.
Yeah.
So what? It wasn't attorney at law on this.
Yes.
If it didn't say attorney at law, technically you weren't promised a law show.
Not so much, but they would always change the title of She-Hulk instead of it being attorney at law. It would always be some quirky little thing, and they didn't have it this time around. That is a big issue for me because the attorney at law tag was the selling point. Nick is right. You wanted an attorney show. You wanted to see her solve cases.
Yeah.
That goes out the window. You cannot.
2 episodes. 2 episodes of nothing.
Nothing. But that's the thing is, if we were going to choose between having attorney at law or She-Hulk, I would much rather have She-Hulk. Because for me, if you're going to do the attorney stuff, you're going to do it as Jen, not as She-Hulk. Even though she is playing dress up as She-Hulk in her firm, she's going to be, going back and forth because society only sees her as She-Hulk. And is she able to kind of sell that? Is she able to be comfortable with that? We've only seen their self-development. We haven't seen her publicly develop in society. That's where that focus needs to be in these next 2 episodes. What is her development out there socially as She-Hulk?
Also, I had a question. So at the very end, he has a thumbs up, the syringe, and like a crown on it. Does that mean that he roofied her?
No.
Or like he injected it?
He injected the blood. He
Yeah,
basically
got it.
took the
So
blood.
he raped her.
Took a sample.
No.
of the blood.
Hold on. if she would have known the context that they're in.
No, hang on. Before you say anything, you have to be very careful because it is a strong word, strong context for something that we could not necessarily.
You're telling me that she would feel okay with, because the very
of
end of that
course not.
episode, it felt real icky.
Yes, it did.
That felt very icky to me.
Yes, but you don't use that word. That's all I'm saying. Just don't use that word.
Fine. He aped her. Sorry.
He what? What'd you say?
Dude.
He made sweet love.
Stop! No, stop!
under false pretenses.
Oh my god, dude! You clean up this mess.
Me?
This is your responsibility.
Are you telling me that's not what happened at the end of the episode?
Did
he not sleep with her under false pretenses?
So this is what I'm gonna assume. I'm thinking they're doing it. They're doing the nasty. Takes a lot out of her. Maybe she hulked out for a second.
No, she
and
didn't.
it took out a lot out of her.
So uncomfortable
she is
with
in
this
a deep
conversation.
sleep.
Hold on.
He gets a needle. Gets what he needs. Also got more stuff that he needed too. But
no, but that's the thing though, is that like I didn't understand like that felt.
they never
really...
showed him sticking her with a needle. We're just assuming he got what he came for.
It's
But
funny
that's- but
because
that-
when
but
you say
that's
it
the
that
icky
way,
part.
when you say it that way, right? When you say it that way, it's not that it's played out innocently, but it's played out in a very PG way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like
Well, it's Disney.
It is Disney,
It's Disney,
right? But it's funny because they use the word, they made love. No, we slept together. Like, that's it. So the context is they had the segs, That's what it is. But the whole premise of her getting her blood out of her because of this guy who basically did that, it's PG'd. But yes, it is very icky. And I will say this. That dude, Thanos is out the window. This guy basically makes Thanos look like a gentleman.
At least Thanos,
At least Thanos had a point.
Well, they didn't make Thanos a simp because Thanos was in love with death. That's why he did what he did.
In the comics,
but-
yes.
But they didn't want to make him a simp.
Yeah. No, but here's my thing though, is that I'm just really trying to get to where the writers were on this episode, because they were like, okay, cool, we're gonna attack her and we're gonna kind of go by force to try and steal her blood so we can make this serum. That didn't work. All right, well then let's just honeypot her instead.
Let's Cardi B.
Like let's honeypot her and like after 3 days,
That
like,
is so weird when you
Played
put it
the
in that
long game.
context.
right? Like that was
It's
like
so weird.
like,
why
why
would
would
you just kidnap her as Jen?
like
Drug her, put her in a lab, and then extract her blood.
I feel like that would have been. I feel like I would have been
That
more
would have
okay
been
with.
more exciting.
And that would have
now
been
that
more
you-
exciting.
You know what? This makes me very uncomfortable because
you get
now,
what I mean?
Now, yes. So that's why. Could you put it in that context instead of the original way you said it?
No,
Because
it still counts.
No, it does
Still
not
totally
count.
counts.
Because I'm going to say this. Now that you're saying it this way, I'm looking at it going like, what is the direction you're going to take this in the next 2 episodes? I hope that Jen becomes self-aware and says, that's messed up. You basically took advantage of me, and then you took my blood without permission.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's the whole point they're gonna go for.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And I hope that's where the attorney part comes in.
But
I'm
I mean-
going to sue you for taking my blood.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's already gone.
Yeah, but then also, it gets like really. It gets really icky, like all over the place. It's just there's a whole bunch of like problems with it, and it's like, oh man, like you guys backed yourself into this weird corner where why couldn't it have just been like, oh yeah, he's like
Or hold a vial of her blood.
at the very end.
Yeah, at the very end, like he gets out of his pocket and he has.
Oh
he's
my
walking
God,
out.
there was another part that was weird.
Not only that, but also
he
I'm
takes
not.
a photo of her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And gets all her.
That was why. And then so apparently he wants to kill her, but he was
Very
like, I might as well
serial
get. I might as well get one in before
Can you
I kill
imagine
her.
the writer's room in that? They're
Yeah.
just like-
Who wrote this?
Like everyone's kind of like.
I think it
oh.
was more annoyed at the fact that this was just another like weird episode, and now that we're talking about it, I'm like, wait, this episode
a weird
ended
situation.
very weirdly.
Because I'm really
Very
wondering, was
creepy.
the syringe his penis? Is that what he was trying to? Is that what he was texting people? Like,
The king, he's texting the whole king. He's like,
yeah,
I
he's
got
like,
it.
he's like, I got it.
Dude, this is weird.
Again, a lot of things wasn't shown to us, so we're only left to believe or we're left
But
to
like, okay, if you would have
speculate.
seen him like hold a vial of blood,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Or place the syringe or something.
Not only okay,
But why the photo?
No, okay. Here, that's also the creepy thing because she's gonna post it on that Reddit thing and it's gonna freak her out. She's gonna be like, "Oh no!" But also, why not break a glass in her hand?
Oh, I see.
Because the Hulk cut his finger.
Yeah.
Edward Norton cuts his finger in the original Hulk because he's fixing something and cuts his finger, and then the blood falls out, and then he ends up going in the bottle.
You would have that would have been interesting if like they cut her hand and then like she gets a napkin, throws it in the trash, and then they do the thing, and then you see him walk out, but he's going in the trash.
And then
can.
he picks it up.
He picks up like the
that would have been
napkin.
less weird.
Yeah.
And then like the fact that they did it, that makes it even more weird.
Because the message that they're trying to get at is that men are scummy.
That's exactly what I'm saying, and that's why I was kind of going like I
don't
feel
wanna
like
say it. You said it.
But but that's the thing though is that at a certain point
it
that
seems
is
like
the
they're
message.
they're trying
That's the
out of their
message.
way to try to tell that message.
The
Yeah.
scummiest of scum.
Yeah, like no matter what, Jen will be betrayed by a man.
Not only that, but also it also is that two strong women can't be in the same room together. Because that's the message I got from episode
the
2
wedding? Or
with
the
the wedding
Yeah.
of like multiple strong women all in the same room, then somebody has
Can't
to
happen.
leave or you can't have it.
What?
Oh, I thought that it shut.
No,
I
it
thought the
didn't.
recording shut down.
No. But it just went to sleep. But that's what I'm saying because that was the only thing. That was the kind of the message that they showed, of like, oh yeah, as soon as like, the bride was there, and then she couldn't have She-Hulk there, so then She-Hulk wasn't there. But then also, what was it? What's the villain? Her villain? What's her name?
Tatiana.
Tatiana was there, so then now she couldn't be. It's a weird message that you're trying to
This is the
sell.
problem that they get for writing way too much of Jen and not giving us enough of each one.
Yeah.
Yeah. In all honesty, let's wrap it up because we are running out of time.
Yeah, we are.
Sorry, I keep saying in all honesty, but I missed my point. I'm already tired. It's getting late, so let's wrap it up.
All right.
What do we think about the next episode? Do we have any hope for it?
I'm
Not the next two,
hoping-
the next episode.
The next episode, I'm really hoping it's either somewhat of any action paced or maybe Daredevil. I
Okay.
feel like if they're gonna show Daredevil, do it in the last 2 episodes. But we've been wrong before. I thought it was gonna be in the last 3.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think because it's really weird because I would have loved to have had 3 episodes of them being Matt Murdock,
Right,
Of her,
and Jen,
of her
yeah.
working with Matt on a case.
Yeah, it's not so much as like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have Daredevil on the show. It's more of like you're gonna have these 2 characters meet at some point. Why are you waiting so long?
Because
And
honestly,
you gave us this episode instead,
like
which
an
was-
hour
was
and a half,
needed.
like an hour and a half to really like have Jen Walters and Matt Murdock kind of bond and become like friends because they're close friends in the comics.
Yeah.
they
And
know
Charlie
each other.
Cox
and they're-
isn't that expensive in an actor that I don't see why they can't have him as long as they did with Wong, or as long as Wong. My God, I can't speak.
It's because they want you to wait until they want you to get the whole season.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah,
me. It's me.
unfortunately,
It's me getting you to the end of the season. How do I get you to the end of the season? I'm going to keep Daredevil all the way until the end.
I want the last 2 episodes. I know we're gonna ask for like a 40+ minute episode. More than likely, it's going to be maybe no more than 32 minutes each.
Yeah.
They're going to be short episodes.
Oh no, actually, it's gonna be 28
If it is,
28
dude,
minutes.
it
I'm gonna
sucks.
be pissed. Yeah.
Because now at that point, we defended She-Hulk for the first 4
We
episodes.
did.
And it was good.
And it was
No,
good.
they were good. They were good 4 episodes. That's the thing.
4 or 5 episodes, and then all of a sudden it just started kind of getting stale. It plateaued and nothing else. You need to end this with a banger. You guys need to give us like a She-Hulk that actually can do something, that can kick ass and that can defend the law. You need to give us, Daredevil at some point, and you need to cure the fact that you basically wrote the creepiest of all creepy men, the scummiest of scum, basically on there. And if it's just the message to basically show that no matter what, men are scum, you're not really proving a point because
We all know that.
You're
Yeah.
proving the people that said that this show has absolutely this
there's
show
no
is just,
intention besides pandering.
it has no intention except for pandering, and it's just saying, oh yeah, men are scum, and that's it. You're not really speaking to a larger audience.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also what you could have done is you could have had a contrast. You could have had the contrast of Josh, and then you could have introduced Matt Murdock, and then she could have seen the difference between what a man is and what a boy is. Like what no, but
No, it's true.
but she could have seen like there is a difference in a good person.
Yeah.
Not only that, but also you have a really cool person in her office that has gotten little to no like screen time is her junior partner.
Yeah.
That she works with. He got 2 episodes, and he's a great character. And we did nothing. We're doing nothing with him.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see him do law. I would love to see him working with Jen trying to solve cases.
Oh, that would have been cool.
That would have been so cool. This show promised it was going to be a lawyer show, and that is not what I've got.
That's his biggest disappointment.
That is my biggest
That
disappointment
is,
because I really love lawyer
It's
shows.
okay, Nick.
I'm
It's
watching
okay.
Suits right now to compensate.
Suits is good.
Dude, I'm 3 seasons in.
Oh, really?
Well, with
Yeah.
Nick's frustration, we have to wrap up the show. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here at Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 117. Just a reminder, follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Keeping Up with the Nerds. Go check out our website, keepingupwiththenerds.com, for all the up-to-date information on when new issues come out. And if you guys want to see some thumbnail art, there it is as well. If you guys are listening to us on audio platforms, go follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Podbean, and rate us 5 stars if you guys like what you guys heard over here. We have 117 plus issues on all platforms, so go check them out. See the older and see how we grew up. See how much we've matured and how much we've improved. Let us know.
Yeah.
You guys can also find us on YouTube. So if you guys have not checked us out on YouTube, go follow us there at Keeping Up with the Nerds. 128 subs. We want to get to 150 by the end of the year because we have a big surprise for you guys come November. If you guys are longtime fans, you guys would know what we're talking about. Also, our partners at Our Real Addiction will be posting up their podcasts on Thursdays at 11, hopefully. Also on YouTube. So subscribe, like the videos, comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about today's topics or anything else we've discussed. With that said, Nick, are you going to behave and actually wrap up the show?
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 117. My name is Nick Valero.
This is Bryan.
Rene.
Signing off from Undercity Comics. We'll see you all next time.